Ladies and gentlemen, we have Logan Paul on the line. Logan, first thing I want to talk about is this documentary that you brought on the platform, which, quite frankly, I loved. I thought it was great.
Let's go.
Like, what was your idea behind all this?
Hey, first, can I say, first time on the show, Keen. Thanks for having me, guy.
You were like one of the... You and Shane Dawson are probably the only major YouTubers that I haven't had on here yet.
Let's go. I said, let's do it. I'm bored, and it's a what is it? Wednesday.
It's been quite the boring week.
For
so DramaAlert.
Let's get juicy. The documentary, Flat Earth, dude. I'm glad you like it. Thank you for the love that you showed on Twitter. Yeah, shit's crazy.
I mean, how did you come up with this? Out of the blue,
So I mean, I'm sure every single one of us has gotten caught in the YouTube conspiracy theory rabbit hole.
Right.
And dog, I was on YouTube one day and I saw this group of people who think the Earth is flat, and it's like there's a lot of them, and they gather every year at the same place. And I figured, holy shit, what a great watering hole for content.
Right. Right.
So then I bought tickets to this Flat Earth conference, and then literally crafted the most ridiculous storyline I could possibly think of around it, and made a movie out of it.
I did see after the fact that the Flat Earthers were saying that you broke the law or something. What's going on with that?
Yeah, they're not happy, man. I mean, when you ridicule someone without pointedly ridiculing them, because think about it, Keem, I didn't do anything. I brought a magnifying glass upon their quote unquote movement, right? Like I didn't. They did it for themselves, and I did it in a way that I think, obviously I got them, and I tricked YouTube, I tricked the Flat Earth community, most people, and so they're not happy. So they're coming back with any sort of weight that they can have to try and fuck me over. They're pissed.
Do you think they're really gonna sue? I mean, are they talking about lawsuit? I don't even know if they're talking about lawsuit.
I mean, man, who knows? I don't know. Good luck.
I just don't know what they could sue for. I just don't understand it. I saw that one of them was gonna do an interview with I think it was ABC or NBC, someone.
Not one of them. He's the king, bro. He was the head honcho. His name is Robbie Davidson. He's the CEO, the tall guy.
Yeah.
From the doc. Yeah. He did an interview with Nightlife.
Okay.
And man, who knows, dog? I don't know.
Did you see the interview? Because I haven't seen it yet.
I don't think it's out yet. But I'm just so curious. What do you say, dog? You're a flat earther. At the end of the day, what? Do your words hold any weight? I don't know.
My favorite part of the whole documentary is when Mike does the experiment with the RC car and the inflatable Earth, and then he shows that it just falls right off. But then if you flatten the Earth, it stays on.
I am so glad you like that scene. It almost got cut because we weren't sure, but that's legitimately the level of quote unquote experimentation that they do to convince themselves the Earth is that's literally what they do. And at the conference, the one girl agreed with me. She's like, yeah, why does that happen? and I don't even know what to say to these people.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with our educational system here. Okay, so I just thought that was amazing, but that brings me to my next point. You put out this statement on Instagram. You said that you thought being a YouTuber's whack, and you're thinking about taking a break to go pursue an acting career and do other stuff. Do you really feel that way, that you're pigeonholed on YouTube? And
so I've been thinking about this a lot, and I saw your response video, and you make a lot of good points. And as much as we've beefed in the past, I do like you, Keem, and I'm sure I will dislike you in the near future, and then guess what? I'll like you again.
Right.
But it's but throughout all of it, I respect you, and I thought you were definitely spot on with your response to me, basically saying, to give context for those of you who do not know, I just feel like I have this burning desire to do more than YouTube, and I don't know, I'll see Kevin Hart or Chris D'Elia doing stand-up comedy, and a part of me wants to go try that. But you don't just try that. Like, people dedicate their whole lives to that and become experts at it. Part of me wants to do music. Part of me wants to go direct films. I want to do all these things, but right now I'm quote unquote a YouTuber.
Right.
And to me, that's not the end goal. But then again, maybe it is. Like, kids nowadays aren't growing up with TV and movies like I did. They're growing up with YouTube stars as their idols.
Well, the thing with being a YouTuber is you maintain a fan base, right? So if you want to go do stand-up comedy, do it, but also make a YouTube video of it, and don't just do it for the 50 people in the club. Do it for millions. And the same thing for, like, making movies and starting in movies. You just made a movie, and it was a hit, and it got 1 million views. You know, for first-time movie makers, 1 million people aren't watching their movie, right? So I think... You know, we kind of lose track of everything. You know, I think of Lily Singh, right? She was getting frustrated with YouTube. She wasn't making it on the trending page, and she went and got her own talk show. Well, if you really think about that, why did she go and get her own talk show? Probably to get back on the trending page, I'm assuming.
Oh shit! I didn't. I sent her. I mean, like, I sent her a congratulatory tweet because, like, I'm happy for her. I'm envious in a way. But then again, I don't know. I don't know if I truly am, because YouTube's my home. That's where I've built my fan base. I've literally created on YouTube since I was 10 years old. What the fuck am I saying? I think, Keem, what the conclusion I came to was I am unsatisfied with the quality of work I am putting out there, and it's only my fault. Like, I think it's so easy to be distracted by the instant gratification that social media provides in terms of views, subscribers, likes, things that happen essentially overnight. Like, you can go viral and become a star overnight.
Right. And
that has become slightly unhealthy. I would rather sit back, put my mind into a project, and make it the best it can be to make a bigger wave type, like a Shane Dawson model. Like, he's killing it right now. And you know, that's exciting. You know who Randolph is?
JJ's boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been on my mind. I don't even know if this is the right, like, place to say it, or even if I am in any place to say it, but he responded to your video on Twitter about my comments about being a YouTuber, and I forget what he said. You can probably pull up the tweet.
No, I remember. He said he gets hate for being a YouTube rapper, but really, I mean, he's pulling more views than a lot of rappers.
Yeah, so, I mean, yes, that's what he said. So my knee-jerk reaction to that is, A, that's not even true. That's not, like, not maybe C-list rappers, maybe. And then B, my question to you, Keem, is, do you ever think Randolph will be selling out arenas? Do you ever think he'll...
Well, I mean, you and your brother definitely did, right?
The biggest thing he's done was a 10 to 12,000 person show as part of a group of kids that were on tour. Like, I just think it's, I don't know if it's quality based, because the work, the art isn't that mainstream sound that people want to hear. Like, there's a reason, like, no offense, Randolph's and KSI songs will not chart on Spotify. They won't make the top 50. They'll probably hop up to iTunes to number 1 for like a day or two, as most YouTubers do, right? Because your initial audience push can get you there, but then you fall back down because it isn't the level of quality that the majority of the world wants, not just the YouTube fan base.
I think that's changing, though, because you know the Gabby Show, for example, right? She puts out a song, it's like number 1 on iTunes and Spotify for a day or two, right? That didn't happen with YouTubers, 3 years ago, right? I think we're moving into a different territory, and YouTubers are getting, way more influence than ever before. I think that's changing.
You're very right, and I appreciate how optimistic you are about YouTube. It gives me hope. But yeah, I just wonder if we as creators can do our best. I'm kind of just talking to myself here. Do my best to create the best shit I can. Yeah. That blows people out of the water, whether they're expecting me to be a YouTuber or not.
Well, I have to say this. I'm sure a lot of people try to be musical artists and a lot of people try to be actors and all that, right? But everybody, and literally almost everyone, especially nowadays, attempts to be a YouTuber. So if you end up being one of the most popular YouTubers on the platform, which you were, I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I constantly think about FouseyTube, you know, bragging that Tyler Perry put him in his movie. And it's like, okay, that's cool. But you gained 10 million subscribers on your YouTube channel. I think that's a bigger accomplishment. You know, reaching out and getting 10 million fans is bigger than getting, you know, a B-roll in a movie, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree with you. I have to ask you, I'm curious, where does your burning belief in YouTube come from? Because you don't live in LA. I don't even know where you live, right? Like the middle of the country.
I live in Buffalo, New York. I've been a YouTuber for 10 years. Like it started in 2009. So I've seen the direction and how everything's changed. And like, I know just from seeing how much everything's advanced that this really is the future. I mean, we went from uploading videos that you could barely see to now uploading, you know, TV quality content all over the place. You were producing basically a, you know, like a TV show every single day.
Yo, I get it. And I also think it's, part of the culture I'm living in now. Like, you gotta understand, I'm in LA, I'm in Hollywood, right? So I go to an event and there are A-list actors my age there, and me as the competitive person I am, I say to myself, I want that. I want that level of respect. They don't have the fandom I have, and I'm extremely blessed, and I fucking love the Logang. But the level of respect that is commanded by A-list celebrities in Hollywood is something that I have a craving for.
No, I totally get that, and I think that's why a lot of big YouTubers do have that craving and want to go that direction. But you also need to understand is that a lot of those A-list celebrities, you know, they want a social media presence and a big following, and a lot of them attempt to do it, and they aren't as successful on YouTube.
It's because they're playing characters. They're being a persona that's not them. And then when they come out as, like, this is going to break a lot of people's hearts, but a lot of your favorite actors are actually really fucking boring and have no personality. They're very 2D when they're not in character.
Right.
A lot of them aren't, but some of them are. And that's why I think there is sometimes an unsuccessful transition from Hollywood from mainstream to digital. That a lot of actors, like, you're right, man. They want what we have in the audience we command.
So again, I think it just goes both ways. But let's change topics because we could talk about YouTube stuff forever. Yeah. What's going on with these fights? Okay, today.
What's going on, Keem?
Today it was announced. Today it was announced that you and JJ are gonna fight. But when? Like, is there any like behind the scenes talk going on? Or
yes.
Okay.
No, there absolutely is. I will say this, it is so much fucking harder to get a fight sanctioned here in the United States from two quote unquote boxers. We're not even amateur boxers.
Right.
So it's like, and by the way, in the United States, amateur boxers fight 3 2-minute rounds. Like, that's it. JJ and I fought 6 3-minute rounds. We're already like skipping 900 steps. So here in the United States, it's probably going to be in LA. We're trying to get a venue, B, some sort of union to sanction the fight, and then C, where we might do a package deal with a production company instead of just trying to do it all ourselves the same way we did last time.
And when's the soonest you think this would happen?
JJ said November, which at first I thought was ridiculous, but he might be right. It would be cool, in my opinion, if it was like the same date or around. Like, imagine if it was August 25th again, like the 1-year reunion. That'd be cool, but I don't know. I
mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. You've called JJ out and saying that he isn't training and he's gaining weight. You know, he's called you out. What are you still training every day? Are you getting ready for this fight? Like, it's going to happen tomorrow?
Yes, the fight could happen tomorrow. I'd be ready. Because, like, man, to be honest, boxing has now become a part of my life. and I love it. Unfortunately for JJ, fell in love with the sport, so now it's like I have gotten my sea legs warmed up, and I am collecting skulls this winter.
Now, obviously, you think you're going to win, right? KSI thinks he's going to win. Both of you think that you.
I don't think he does. I don't believe him when he says he thinks he's going to win.
Both of you have claimed, that you've gained knowledge off of each other, and now you know what to do and how to defeat the other one. It's just going to be really interesting to see what happens. Your brother, he just got into a sparring match with Joe Weller, and the internet thinks it's fake. Did you see it? What do you think?
I obviously had my hesitancy when it came to because no disrespect to Joe, but what the fuck, man? Jake barely hit you in the ribs and you dropped. Like, can we stop bullying Joe Weller? Why is Joe and like, yo, I'm a asshole too. Like, I hit up Joe immediately. I was like, yo, come spar. And he's like, yo, I'm in London. Like, everyone wants to beat up Joe Weller. I'm sorry, guy, but can we stop bullying Joe Weller? Everyone's using him as the YouTube punching bag.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it looks fake. It really does look fake. And then to see him in the diss track as a backup dancer.
What is that? What's happening? Why is he in the diss track against himself, just sitting there on a Ferrari?
It just doesn't seem on the up and up. Have you talked to Jake since the sparring?
Yeah, it's not fake. Dude, I respect Joe, and I actually am a fan of Joe. But when it comes to boxing, he's just such a pussy. I'm so sorry, Joe. But you just, like, you know what I want to do, Keem? I want to spar Deji when he comes to LA next, and see how I fare against Deji, because Jake's a very good boxer. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's no chance Joe was gonna win that, but that easy was good.
I don't know. I think Deji is weird, like really weird, because nobody thought that he could, even come close to having a competition with your brother at all, including myself. And he got pretty upset with me. But I just really thought that Deji had no chance, and he surprised everyone. What do you think's going on there? Does he have natural talent like he claims, or did he train real hard right before?
Not gonna lie, bro. Deji's got some scary natural talent. Like, no one should be that good with the little amount that he trained. And I just don't think he has a work ethic like Jake and I do. I mean, I know he doesn't. He even admits, like, he didn't even train that hard. Meanwhile, Jake and I are out here, like, and to be honest, man, I told this to Jake. The kid should have taken his head off in the first round. And it wasn't that Deji was bad so much as the preparation Jake and I had. There should have been no contest. Right. And even, like, same with me, dude. The first two rounds, I was mocking KSI because it was the easiest fight. It was easier than any sparring match I had, and I took time to gloat and show off instead of finishing the fucking job like a moron.
Well, do you think that
I got tired?
Do you think you got tired because you were a vegan at the time, right?
Yeah, man, and I mean, we could go back and forth on this all day, but I'm gonna be honest. That played a huge role in my conditioning and strength.
Yeah, that just didn't make sense to me. Like, I mean, I feel like I know, because I've been on diets or whatever where I've just eaten vegetables and stuff, and your whole mentality is completely different when you eat meat. It just, even not just physically but mentally too. So yeah, I don't know who made that call. Like,
listen, Keem, I was going through some things, man. 2018 was tough. I was like, yo, I'm gonna just try different things to try and, like, alter my life in a positive way. So I went vegan, for the animals, for my soul. I got a girlfriend. It was great. And then I was like, yo, being vegan's fucking hard. It's not for me. And yeah, so
now,
I stopped.
Now, other than the obvious drama that happened years ago, you haven't really been in too many controversies lately. The last controversy I remember is you saying, being a sociopath is savage, or whatever that was. And that's part of the reason why I want to see a Jake Paul and JJ fight rather than a Logan and KSI fight, because I feel like KSI is going to fight dirty before the fight, verbally and with a lot of, antics, and it's going to make it really entertaining. I don't really think that's you anymore. I think you're trying to grow up and you're trying to get away from that. Are you able to promote the fight like you did the first time?
Yo, this is a great question. This is a phenomenal question because I've been thinking about this and I've never said it aloud. I'm not even sure what I'm going to say right now. This is a total stream of consciousness. But the long and short of it is, man, I like talking shit. I like ruffling feathers. But at the end of the day, man, like, I'm a goofy ass dude. I just like making jokes and like clowning around. And when I'm in the ring, it's a different story. Like I will take someone's fucking head off and make them chew on their teeth like chiclets. But before the fight, I don't know. JJ's good at that. He's good at just like pissing people off and being the villain.
Well, I mean, you were. I mean, I remember I was there. I was at the LA press conference where you and your brother were being obnoxious and crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And so was KSI, and so was Deji a little bit. But then we got to the England press conference, and you were just like, you know, I'm above this, you know, and just walked away.
Yeah,
and,
I think,
you know, that might have been the mature, right thing to do, but also it's the horrible thing to do to promote the fight. Like,
I think with the London one, I don't think it was horrible. I think it did make a statement, like whatever the statement is. You know, discern it the way you like, whether it was like Logan was too scared to respond or like Logan is above this. It depends who you ask what their answer will be. But to be honest, man, I don't know. It's similar to the way that I made the flat earthers look stupid by just being themselves. JJ does a really good job of that. I don't have to do much for people to say, wow, this kid is a dickhead and I do not like him. So I don't think I have to do or say. I'm going to. Grant, I'm going to come with a list of insults and things to say. He's given me a lot of material this past Christmas, and Deji is an ally now. So I there's a lot I can say, yeah. But who knows, man? We'll see.
Last question. JJ's been making these insults that you have been falling off because your YouTube views are down.
Yes.
Why is that? Is that because you're focusing on your podcast, or is that because you don't have your heart and soul in your videos like you normally do? Like what's going on with your channel?
It's the latter, what you said. I'm sort of I actually said this in my video coming out this weekend. This whole year I've sort of been lost in a way. Not in a bad way, like I'm like depressed or like don't know who I am.
Well, you lost a major tool, right? Like that, for the lack of a better word, that douchebag Logan Paul is really entertaining, and you don't want to do that anymore. So you're kind of disabled over there, I feel.
That's it. You've said that so well. You're absolutely right. I've been suppressed for so long. I don't have the freedom to really play like I used to. So now it's like, okay, I need to innovate my content in a way that is still entertaining and people still want to watch, but is not the same that it was. And I'm in a fucking difficult spot right now. I'm going to do it. Granted, I'm going to do it. But yeah, man, just figuring it out.
Well, I would say if you want any hope to figuring it out, I think your documentary did that. I don't feel like you were over the top douchebag in that documentary, and I think it was really entertaining. So maybe if you can find that guy, maybe that's a pathway to getting your content up. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, Logan Paul. If you enjoyed this interview, make sure you slap a like on it. DramaAlert Nation, now over 4,800,000 subscribers. All right, good interview.
Good stuff, bro. Yeah, that was pretty fucking. Again, I'm sorry I didn't bring the fucking juice. There's nothing crazy.
No,
going
I
on.
mean, I think it's an overall just cool, chill conversation that people will enjoy. There's nothing going on YouTube, literally nothing, unless I want to talk about people with like 2,000 subscribers. Which
I can't imagine. I can't. Here's a good and bad thing. It's bad because your format does require other people to do stuff that is newsworthy.
Right.
But the good news is that I think you probably know this. You're going to be around for a minute because you have a format that is sustainable.
Yeah, I just don't know how much time I have because I'm pushing 40.
Yeah, but I mean,